It is a beautiful morning. It is September 16th, and I just wanted to show you guys what's growing here in the vertical garden. I am now transitioning over to my fall garden, so I'll show you guys what I've planted. Over here in my to my left is a leaf planter, and I have a lot of arugula in here. I like to plant that, especially when I'm crunched for time, because it pops up in just a few days, really, especially with all the rain we've been receiving. We've had a lot of rain lately, and so it's really helping my seeds germinate. And we finally finished our project out here on the deck. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's quite the project when you have this many planters on a deck to move everything around and get it sealed and replace the planks, all that fun stuff. So anyway, it is done. And now over here I have some summer things going on. Tomatoes are still popping out there. Those are the sun gold. And I also have a little dwarf brandywine back in there, if you can see that one. And then I think on this one, yeah, sweet potatoes at the bottom. So I probably will get those in October. They're climbing right up the GreenStalk. I planted them in the bottom tier. I have some cayenne peppers here. And peppers don't do as well for me up here as they do down on the lower driveway. And then over here to my right, I have fennel back in there, and I'm going to go ahead and probably get that today because it is trying to bolt on me. I noticed in the center I'm starting to see a little bit of flowers there, so that's as big as the bulb is going to get for me. I have a couple more in there too, but they're not bulbing up as nicely as that one. I have green beans in this one. Of course, this is my summer GreenStalk. This is the original, and I just really enjoyed having the Tulsi basil up here. Every time I walk through the garden, I brush up against it lightly, and it has the most wonderful fragrance. I would grow it just for the fragrance alone, but apparently the tea has a lot of medicinal benefits, so I'm going to be giving that a try this winter. I'm drying it in my dehydrator, although I could probably just cut it and hang it upside down. It'd probably do fine. And then my sweet bay laurel back there, I pruned it back. It was getting a little bit too leggy. And then over here in an original GreenStalk, I have spinach. I planted spinach, I want to say at least 3 weeks ago. It never did come up. It must have been the seeds. So I gave up on those, especially since we were expecting rain. And I knew that if I got some more seeds in here, that they would probably come up, which they did. So I have some spinach on the way, even though this is a little bit later than I typically like to plant my spinach. I like for it to get a nice root system, because it gets that long tap root on it. So I like for that to be well established before our first frost, which we normally get in mid-October. All right, and then my cucumbers are still just popping out. Cucumbers everywhere. These are the little Persian cucumbers. I've told y'all about these every time I do a little tour on it. And so there's some down there. They're just, it's not, the plant itself is not very healthy. I'm getting a lot of disease on here, but it's still producing cucumbers. Now what I'm doing when I pick my cucumbers, because I'm getting more than I can eat in one day, I just pop them in a little Rubbermaid produce container and I keep it in the refrigerator, and it works fine. It keeps them nice and crisp, just like I just picked them off the vine. So I just rotate them out. I put my fresh ones on the bottom of the container, and obviously my older ones get moved up. So I eat those first. So I'll grab all of these today, put them in that container. Of course, the dahlias are looking wonderful. I have a lot of blooms popping out on there. Okay, and then the leaf planter here, green beans over here, more Tulsi basil, nasturtiums right back in there. I have some blooms. This one's a yellow bloomer there. Okay, and then here is the leaf planter where I have the yellow potted bush beans. Those are going to find their way into some curry today. I have a crock pot with some curry paste and coconut milk simmering right now, just to kind of develop those flavors in the sauce. And I am going to throw in some of these beans, and I'll put some peppers from the GreenStalks in the lower driveway, some bell peppers in there, along with some chicken. And I'll use probably this purple ruffle basil here. That has the most similar flavor of the Thai basil, which I don't have right now at this garden. I have it at the river garden. I forgot to bring it back with me. Anyway, and then over here I've also planted out another leaf container full of arugula. Always makes me feel good when seeds just pop up so easily for me, and I also enjoy what I'm growing because I love arugula. All right, and then over here, Cherokee Purple and the Vago tomato planter. A couple of tomatoes on there. We'll see if I can get those before our first frost. Hopefully they'll ripen up for me. Be nice to have a last tomato or two of the season. And then of course down there we have the peppers. So I'm picking peppers now about every week, just about 6 or 7. And so I will show you guys what I've been picking here soon. I got yellows last week, just a couple of reds, and there's a lot of yellow on there right now. So I will grab those probably today, as well as the beans and some of the cucumbers up here. So still enjoying the garden. A lot of color right now turning on the bushes and the trees, and then fall is in the air because you can just kind of tell we're in the mid-70s today, I think. So there you have it. There's the garden here in mid-September. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.